Arrested development, meaning that you experienced something at likely a young age and your emotional maturity got stunted. Your ability to hold perspective in a either unbiased way or a wiser way kind of gets stunted. But whatever age you were when a trauma occurred to you, especially the first trauma, so for people who have more like complex trauma they have experienced a lot of traumas or the same type of trauma over and over in their life, it's usually like around the first time you experience that your emotions can kind of get stuck at that age maturity level. People experience this in all forms, like in their day-to-day, especially with their partner when they're arguing with their spouse. They'll turn into a teenager for a little bit. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. You'll say shit you wouldn't normally say. You'll do stuff you wouldn't normally do, like slam your fist on the counter or slam a cabinet door or like say like, you're so stupid or whatever. Like, we don't do that in our normal day-to-day. That is a freaking child part of you jumping out and protecting you in a childlike way. That's the emotional maturity of a child or a teenager, whatever. That's what's jumping out. So how I like to view this is like, this is like computer code, all right? So we go through life, we have our back end of the computer programming, and it's taking in data until we're about like 8 or 9. Taking in this data so we can make sense of our world, because we're always trying to seek out a sense of safety through predictability. So we always try to like anticipate people's moves. We try to anticipate things. But the problem with anticipation is that we tend to ignore anything that doesn't fit into that. And that's a whole nother thing of how people are just walking around asleep, like hypnotized, because they're just like putting it into their categories and they don't know how to critically think. And that's also the danger of AI, ChatGPT type stuff. You lose your ability to critically think and discern information for yourself. But anyway, so yes, you can get emotionally stunted because of trauma, because when you experience a trauma, especially say you're like 7 years old, something happens to you and you your body gets a shock essentially to the system, and it's like, holy shit, we didn't expect this, we need to reinforce the system so this doesn't happen again. So we can do this by predicting, like, what were the cues in the environment? What helped us? What did we miss? Let's make sure that we take note of that. Okay, check, check, check. Now we gotta create some reinforcements around this so this doesn't happen again. So we gotta have one person that stands on guard. We gotta have another person that's like highly reactive now and like very physically aggressive. So these are called the protectors, and they're protecting your little child self that got hurt. And the problem with the protectors is that they are also children, because they were developed when you were a child. So you only had so much perspective. You had only so much to go off of the world. And so when you have a childlike protector protecting another child, that's kind of like siblings trying to protect each other. They don't quite have the capacity to handle situations like an adult would, like a wise, healthy adult would. And so you will experience essentially self-sabotaging behaviors when you're trying to protect yourself. You'll end up actually in these situations all over again because of the way that these protectors are set up. They think they're helping you, but they're not. Just like children, like they try to stand up for you or whatever, and you're a parent and you're like, hey buddy, move back aside. I don't need you yelling in the store, like you're gonna make the situation worse. So it's kind of like that. That's how our protective mechanisms are set up. So as far as how therapy can help with that, they help kind of go inside, uncover these aspects of you that maybe you don't know are there, and help kind of calm them down, give them more perspective, update the code, update the program, so they're aware that you're actually an adult now, and you can then connect the data so they get uploaded with your information, and now you guys are synced up and working together. And this protector that was once doing one job for you might now be doing a new job that's way more beneficial to you. So instead of blowing up at people like you did in the past, you might actually be able to hold more space and listen for other type of things from a more calm place rather than from a reactive place.